Lana Del Rey wasn't famous, not in the way the world defined fame, but in the small town of Cedarfield, nestled between sleepy hills and winding creeks, she was unforgettable. She ran a modest second-hand bookstore on Main Street, called Wild Pages. From the outside, it looked like the kind of place you'd pass by without a second glance: weathered bricks, a crooked sign, and dusty window displays. But inside, it was something else entirely. Shelves full of stories, a tea kettle that was always warm, and an old record player spinning music soft enough to melt silence. Lana had owned the shop for nearly 12 years. No one knew exactly where she came from, and she didn't offer much. She spoke gently, moved gracefully, and smiled as if she'd known you in another life. Her eyes had a softness to them, like someone who had been broken once and put herself back together with gold thread. What made Lana different was not what she said, but how she listened. She listened to the boy who came in every Thursday to sit by the poetry section and read Rumi while waiting for his mom to finish work. She listened to the widower who visited every Christmas Eve to buy his late wife's favorite novel, still wrapped it like a gift, and left it on her old reading chair. She even listened to the silence of the books themselves, as if they whispered what reader they needed next. But this isn't just a story about a bookstore. This is the story of a girl who found herself by helping others find their place, and how one forgotten garden, a missing letter, and a child named Emma reminded her that love never truly leaves, it just changes form. It started with a letter. One cloudy afternoon, in early March, Lana found a yellowed envelope wedged between the pages of a donated book. The book was a 1970s copy of The Secret Garden, its spine frayed, but lovingly intact. The envelope read, "To the one who finds this, you're meant to read it." Curious, Lana opened it. Inside was a letter written in delicate cursive. "I used to come here with my daughter. She loved this garden, the one behind the old greenhouse by Elm and First. She called it the Whispering Places because she believed the flowers could talk if you listened closely. When she passed away, I locked it up. I couldn't bear to see it without her, but maybe someone else can. If you find this, the key is tucked in the spine. Let the garden live again. For her, for me, for you." Lana gently turned the book upside down. A small brass key fell into her palm. She closed the shop early that day. The greenhouse was still there, forgotten and choked by ivy. Lana pushed open the rusted gate and stepped inside. The air smelled like memory and damp earth. Broken flower pots and faded toys lay buried beneath leaves. In the center, a stone bench sat beneath a dead trellis, carved with the words, "To Emma, who saw magic in everything." Lana stood still for a long time, holding the key in one hand and her breath in the other. That night, she dreamed of a little girl dancing through fields of lavender, her laughter echoing like wind chimes. When Lana woke, she knew what she had to do. Every day after closing the shop, she went to the garden. She cleared weeds, painted the old bench, and planted marigolds, daffodils, and baby's breath. She brought seeds from her grandmother's collection, some over 20 years old. Each flower she planted, she whispered a wish. For Emma. At first no one noticed, but gardens have a way of speaking for themselves. By late spring, children began peeking through the gates. One day, Lana left the gate open, and a boy wandered in with a paper airplane. The next day, a woman left a single rose on the bench. Soon, more came, young, old, quiet, and curious. Lana never claimed ownership. She simply became the keeper. Someone hung up a wooden sign above the gate, "The Whispering Garden." Someone else added, "All are welcome." One afternoon, a girl named Sophie came to the bookstore. She was 8, wore oversized glasses, and carried a journal with sparkles on the cover. "Are you the flower lady?" she asked. Lana smiled. "Some people think so. My sister Emma used to call flowers her best friends, Sophie said. I didn't believe her, but now, I think I do. Lana knelt down. Emma was your sister. Sophie nodded. She died 3 years ago. I don't remember her very well. Just her laugh. Lana gently held the girl's hand. Then we'll help you remember. Would you like to plant something for her? Sophie beamed. Sunflowers. She always said they chase the sun. And so they did. They planted a circle of sunflowers in the center of the garden, right around the bench with Emma's name. Lana gave Sophie a notebook and told her to write anything the flowers told her. Over the weeks, Sophie wrote dozens of stories about flower kingdoms, petal pirates, and rose queens who healed lost souls. Lana displayed each one in her bookstore window. Customers stopped to read them, often wiping away tears. One even offered to publish the collection, but Sophie had one condition. The book must say stories from the Whispering Garden, as told to me by the flowers and Miss Lana. By autumn, the garden had become the heart of the town. Weddings were held there. Grief groups met there. Children celebrated birthdays, and quiet souls found peace. And Lana, she bloomed, too. People began asking about her past, where she came from, why she started this. But Lana only ever shared one piece of her story. When I was little, I lost someone who meant everything to me. I thought the world had gone silent. But one day, I heard the trees again. I saw color in the leaves. I realized grief doesn't mean forgetting. It means loving in a new way. One winter night, as snowflakes dusted the garden, Lana found another envelope tucked in the bench. It was from M. I found your garden today. I followed the laughter. I don't know who you are, but I feel like my daughter brought you here. I never imagined healing would come like this. Thank you for bringing her magic back to life. Maybe one day, we can meet. Margaret, Emma's mom. Lana placed a candle by the bench that night. She didn't say anything. She didn't have to. The garden had spoken. A few months later, Margaret came into the shop. She looked older than Lana expected, but had eyes just like Sophie's, sharp, gentle, and deep with memory. She walked straight up to Lana and said, I think we're meant to be friends. And from that moment, they were. They planted together every spring. They hosted poetry nights beneath the stars. They taught classes on storytelling and herbal teas. They built a greenhouse next to the garden, open year-round. They called it Emma's Light. People from other towns visited just to see it. One visitor called it a place where sadness blooms into something beautiful. And that's exactly what Lana had hoped for. Years passed. The town grew. New faces came, but wild pages stayed open. And the Whispering Garden kept growing. People say if you visit at the right time, you'll see a girl in glasses talking to sunflowers. They also say the woman who runs the bookshop has a way of making you feel like your story matters, even if you haven't written it yet. Her name, Lana Del Rey. And though the world may never know her name the way Cedarfield does, they'll always remember what she taught them, that healing doesn't happen all at once. It happens in soft moments, in shared tea, in tiny seeds, and in gardens that whisper the names we thought we'd forgotten. So this was today's story about the soft-hearted and a kind girl. Please let us know in your comments below. How did you like our story? Stay tuned for the next one, and thank you so much for now. Goodbye.